In this Remedy CMS Components Guide, we'll be taking a look at our Specialties component and how it's used to power your specialties throughout your Remedy CMS website. If we navigate to Component Specialties, you'll see the listing of all the specialties that are currently set up on your website. Specialties serve multiple purposes throughout your website. The first purpose that specialties serve is to display the listing of tiles on your main services or specialties landing page to drive patients into those corresponding landing pages for each specialty. The second purpose that the Specialties component provides is to power the physician lookup tools that allow your patients to filter doctors by a particular specialty. Looking back at the CMS, if we dive into any of these specialties that are currently set up, you'll see there are a lot of configuration settings in here along with some content management features. At the very top, you give the specialty its name. You then define whether you want it active or inactive, so you could preload or inactivate specialties if they become either no longer available or you're creating something that you don't want available until a particular date time, just like anything else throughout our CMS. In the entry information section is where you define the specific details for this specialty. At the very top, we have a URL field. What you're doing here is you're choosing whether or not you want to associate this specialty tile to a particular page of content on your site. So if you were to create a landing page under the Content Pages section for this corresponding specialty, then under the Specialty component, when you're editing that item, you can define that that is the page you want this specialty tile to link to. Below there, we then have Hide on Specialties and Hide on Physicians. This gives you the flexibility to choose whether or not the specialty you've created should display in the listing of specialties on your services or specialties landing page, or if it should display here in the physician lookup filter. So that's what these two fields are allowing you to do. Hide on Specialties, yes, would pull it out of your landing page. Hide on Physicians, yes, would pull it out of the physicians list. The reason these two settings exist is because you may have situations or circumstances where you have providers who offer a particular specialty that you want patients to be able to filter by, but you don't necessarily have a corresponding landing page for that, and you don't want to promote it as a primary specialty of your practice. Conversely, you may have broader specialties that you want to have showing on your specialties landing page that link back to corresponding pages of content on your site, but maybe it's too broad and too generic to serve as a filter for providers. So in that example, you would say Hide on Physicians, yes, and then it would just be a specialty that lists as a content page. Regardless of how you configure the specialty, each specialty you create still has a summary and thumbnail image if it's going to display on your specialties landing page. Taking this a step further, if we then were to look at the locations or providers components, you'll see that in each of these, when you set up an office location page, under the Component Relations tab at the top, you can define which specialties are available at that particular office location. The specialties you select here are pulled directly from the specialties that are set up here under the Specialties component, and will then display only those selected specialties on that office location page. Similarly, the same capability exists on the Providers component. If you were to edit a doctor and select that Component Relations tab, you'll see you can do the same thing here, where you define the specialties that that doctor works in. And again, the full list of specialties will be available here. So if you have those specialties you've created that don't necessarily show as a tile or link to a landing page, but they are available to power the physicians filter, you can checkbox all of those specialties here. And then when looking up providers on the front end, they'll be available in this section. And when you choose them, it will automatically filter to only the doctors that have been assigned to that specialty. From your specialties list, like most other things in our CMS, there is drag and drop sorting to determine the position that you would like your specialties to display in. You can put these in either alphabetical order, or if you have primary specialties or services that you want to showcase or put at the top of the list, you can drag them into any position you'd like and then save the sort. And our Remedy CMS platform comes built in with multiple different widgets that are designed to display selected specialties throughout other landing pages on the site. So always be sure to check the Widgets Management menu to find the page-related specialties or component tile widgets that will allow you to leverage these specialties throughout other landing pages on the site.